Oh, Duke Ellington. Oh, that's a great trio group. Oh, Money Jungle. Great CD. You can get it for probably pennies plus shipping at Amazon. Hey, Carol. Hi, Dad. How you doing? Oh, listen. We got to talk. Oh, yeah, I got lots of links. Do you care about the Oakwood Modernist House? Do you care about Raleigh's history of modernist architecture? Maybe? Carol says, maybe. Convince me. No, really, we got to talk about the Oakwood House controversy. But we also got to talk about, can we put up Dianne Feinstein? Where is she? Where is she? There it is. Oh, there we go. Wait for it. Ah. Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny? It's so funny. Dianne Feinstein's been the biggest apologist for the CIA, the NSA, and all this spying that hits domestic Americans she says, well, you know, it's a side effect. The CIA kind of spies on everyone as, you know, Americans as a side effect of what it really needs to do. She's been the biggest apologist for CIA, NSA spying for years now. She's the head of the Senate Intelligence Committee, very conservative Democrat. She's just been this big apologist. And now, Carol, now, suddenly, oh, those satellites is aimed at me? Oh, look at those little computer viruses you stick on everyone's computer, those back doors and everything. Oh, you're using those against me? You're reading my emails? My computers? And suddenly, Dianne Feinstein is now Mrs. Civil Rights, Carol. She's now Mrs. Civil Liberties. She's now like, here's my ACLU. Look, here's my ACLU card. Waving it around. Whoops, I can't do the hand in the mouth at the same. What are you doing? Stop it. Stop laughing. They're laughing at me, Carol. They're laughing. No, really. All of a sudden, Dianne Feinstein's discovered civil liberties in the age of the internet. In the age of mass surveillance. You know, Ed Snowden pointed out in his South by Southwest talk, Carol, Ed Snowden pointed out that within a few years, everybody on Earth will be subject to mass surveillance. Everything you do, everything you say online, everything you type, subject to mass surveillance. The Constitution of the United States of America is null and void when that happens. They've done an end run around the constitutional protections against unlawful, unreasonable search and seizure. They're taking laptops at the border with no probable cause. The cops are pushing the Supreme Court to allow them to unlock your phones when they arrest you for minor crimes. That's what they're doing. That's the impulse. If we don't fight back, we've lost everything that makes America what America is. It's true. Carol, they think I sound like a paranoid Lyndon LaRoucheite or something. My tinfoil hat to cover my bald head. You don't understand. The tinfoil reflects the sun's rays so that my baldness doesn't get burned or something. No, it's not tinfoil. It's not. It's not tinfoil. The First and Fourth Amendments, freedom of speech and freedom from unreasonable, unlawful search and seizure have been destroyed under Obama, under Bush, under Cheney. The Patriot Act destroyed them. But even without the Patriot Act, the NSA, the CIA, doing all this stuff without our knowledge, the internet is completely surveilled. Every one of your private information, every one of your private communications, via email, over phones, cell phones, they want it all. Collect it all, Carol, was what the head of the NSA said in front of, or it came out to Congress. Collect it all. We'll sort it out later. End of the Constitution of the United States of America. You're living it. You're living it. You're living the end of the Constitution of the United States of America. And the friendly black president makes it all okay, Carol. The friendly black president makes the Democrats go, aw, aw, look at his dark skin. Aw, he's so cute. Can I say that? I don't think so, she says. Whoops. The Democrats are lying down because the black president's the one doing it. If Bush was doing this stuff, the Democrats would be screaming, screaming. But because it's the friendly black president, friendly fascism is what they call it, Carol, the Democrats kind of, oh, well, it's just Obama. It's not Bush. It's okay. He's black. Look. Drives me crazy. So we got to talk about the Oakwood stuff, Carol. I'm ready. Are you ready? Put up number, what was it, number 7? Wait. Oh, hold on. I lost my microphone. Oh, that feels so good. Oh. Was that wrong too, Carol? Was that wrong? Was that capital W? Oh, that feels so great. Capital W wrong. Oh, but you know what, Carol? I don't think they can get us on the obscenity clause. It's just puppetry. It's just a puppet. Look. Puppetry. Simple. Kids love it. Kids love it. All right, where are we? Oh, yes. This is very important. I know everybody in town who's not a rich architect or realtor is like, who gives a crap about the Oakwood Modernist House controversy? You know? I know, I get it. Carol, in the insufferable people Olympics, there are 2 categories that always end up in the silver or bronze or gold. Realtors and architects. No, seriously. In the insufferable people Olympics, architects are always near the top, and realtors are always near the top. It's true. You can look it up on Wikipedia. Go to the Insufferable People Olympics page and look it up. See who's always winning. Architects and realtors. They're always near the top. Wall Street people win the gold all the time, Carol. That's just the facts. But architects, what? Yeah, the Koch brothers. The Koch brothers and the Wall Street types, you know, the day traders and the cocaine-fueled garbage. You know, I'm not even interested, Carol, in seeing Martin Scorsese's new movie, The Wolf of Wall Street. Why? Have you seen the previews? Yeah. Oh my God, it glorifies the whole crap. All it is bro culture. I know Martin Scorsese thinks he's doing something different, but every time I watch a Martin Scorsese movie, all I see is guys, guys, bros, bros, guys, guys, bros, bros, guys, guys, bros, bros, guys, guys, bros, bros, guys, guys, oh, there's a lady with hot tits. Oh, whoa, guys, guys, bros, bros, guys, guys. That's a Martin Scorsese movie. I'm sorry, it's true. The man's past his prime. What was I talking about? 3 reasons. Yes. Why you should care about the Oakwood Modernist House controversy. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? 1. The lady who's objecting to the Modernist House across the street from her, Gail Wiesner? We'll say Wiesner. No, we'll say Wiesner, because that's how the Germans would pronounce it. It's a German name, Wiesner. Gail Wiesner is concerned that the process that led to the approval of this house was flawed. Yep, the process was flawed. Now, if she's right, Carol, if Gail's right, then we need to look seriously at the process that leads to approval of new houses in historic districts like Oakwood, right? But you know, Carol, I look at Gail's objections as really flawed themselves. The whole idea, we saw this in today's NNO, right? The head of Preservation North Carolina had an op-ed in today's NNO where he pointed out that Oakwood itself is made up of many, 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 many different kinds of houses from many, 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 many decades of the 20th century. It's that many. There's like 800 million manys in there. It's true. Oakwood is a living, breathing neighborhood. And the head of Preservation North Carolina pointed out in the NNO today on the op-ed page that preservationists across the country say, hey, let the neighborhoods live and breathe. Let new, modern, current designs thrive in these historic neighborhoods. Let them do it. Because 100 years from now, they'll be the history. It makes sense. So the first reason is Gail's accusation, Gail Wiesner's accusation that the process was flawed. The second reason is the idea of history of Raleigh. Raleigh's history includes tons of modernist architecture. And if you go to my Twitter page, Carol, can we put that up? Thank you. If you go to my Twitter page, I link to the North Carolina Modernist House's website, or their channel on Vimeo, where they link to footage of this woman, Gail, who's a realtor, who's objecting to the architect, the modernist architect, across the street building his new house. She objects on the grounds that NC State has this small group of architects who love modernist architecture, and they're in charge of all the historic preservation, the historic district, historic development commission, and we should change that. She's attacking Raleigh's history as a center for modernist architecture. She's saying that doesn't deserve to be in Oakwood. Oakwood shouldn't have any representation of Raleigh's long history as a center for modernist homes. Seriously. I don't know if I believe the hype that Raleigh's third in the country when it comes to modernist homes, but LA, Chicago, New York, Raleigh has a lot of 1940s, 50s, 60s modernist homes, 70s modernist homes. We had a big center of modernist architecture here at NC State in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. And so there are a lot of neat homes. It's part of Raleigh's history. Why shouldn't Oakwood reflect that? Huh? Why? Carol, those houses were all filled with dirt front yards and chickens scratching in them in the 1940s. Seriously. Oakwood, if you look at pictures from the 1940s, that's not too long ago. It's certainly more recent than Gail's thinking of. There were chickens scratching in the dirt yards, front yards, all up and down Oakwood. It's true. It's true. So, reason number one, what are the rules and processes that led to Cherry's, the architect Cherry's house being approved? Were those fair? That's a good question. The next step is March 18th, when Raleigh City Attorney Tom McCormick is going to decide about whether the Board of Adjustment that overturned the approval was right. He should say no. He should say no, they were not right. It's very rare. If you look at The Independent this week, there's an article by Jane Porter about this. I'll link to it on my Twitter page tonight. And she points out how rare it is for the Board of Adjustment to overturn a decision of the Raleigh Historic Development Commission. Yeah, there'll be more links there. The bias against modernist architecture from Gail, the woman across the street from this house, is really unfair. But it's not just a question of taste. She's upset. I've been told, Carol, she built her house in 2008 in Oakwood. How old is that? 5 years ago, this woman who's complaining about the modernist house, which has modernism, which has a long history in Raleigh, over a 50-year history in Raleigh, 60 years, over 60 years. Gail built her house in 2008. You know what she's upset about? She spent 30 grand on legal fees trying to satisfy the Oakwood appearance crap. Those I can't say that. Oh, I almost said the SH word. Sorry, kids. It's my dad's fault. Wait, there we go. Can you still hear me? Okay. Those crappy pastel colors and those silly, the woodwork, the filigree woodwork on these new homes, newish homes. Oh, look, we'll just add a little filigree on the porch and now we're historic Oakwood. Ah! Chickens in the front yard, scratching in the dirt. That's historic Oakwood. Modernist homes from the 1950s being built in Raleigh when they weren't being built anywhere else or very few places else around the country. That's historic Raleigh. This realtor is upset that she had to do all this bending over backwards, and then this modernist house to build her house in 2008, and then this modernist house gets approved. Here's the third reason. The third reason. Gail, the realtor who's objecting to the modernist house in Oakwood, is now trying to change the way the Raleigh Historic Development Commission is formed. She's now trying to change the composition of that committee. Now, maybe she's right, maybe she's wrong, I don't know. But that's important to the city of Raleigh, right? She's trying to change the way these decisions are made across the city, not just in Oakwood. So the Oakwood people are like, how dare you interfere with our neighborhood? This is not a city of Raleigh issue, it's just Oakwood. Bull crap. She's trying to change the way the Raleigh Historic Development Commission is formed and operates. There are serious questions that she has raised about whether the process was fair. Those are citywide questions. The city attorney, Tom McCormick, is going to come down with his decision on March 18th. That's next week, right? These are citywide decisions with citywide implications. Don't believe the Oakwood people when they say, this is just an Oakwood concern. That's that bullcrap Oakwood pompousness, right? That's what that is. What happens in Oakwood affects the city of Raleigh. Everybody in the city of Raleigh should have an interest in what happens with this damn case. And I'll tell you right now that the objections to the modernist house are garbage. Now, Carol, the problem is, here's reason number 4. You ready? It's personal. These are personalities. Gail Wiesner's very strong personality. If you go to my Twitter page, I linked to her appearing in front of the city council last week. North Carolina Modernist Homes has a Vimeo channel, and they have video of Gail, the woman who's objecting to this modernist house, talking to city council. You can see how personal it is for her. But it's also personal for the architect, Louis Cherry, and his wife. Right? They've invested tons of money. So what we need to have happen, are you ready, Carol? Yeah. Arbitration. Yeah. If it goes to court, it will be a disaster. It will extend forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. So Gail and Mr. Cherry, Miss Wiesner and Mr. Cherry need to go to arbitration. They need to sit down with a moderator, with a mediator, and talk and come to a solution so the city of Raleigh doesn't get dragged, you and me, and our tax dollars don't get dragged into some garbage lawsuit. It won't help anyone, right? Just because she don't want to look at this house, thinks it's going to hurt Oakwood's property values. Oh, a modernist home in Oakwood. Oh my goodness, what if people who come to Oakwood for the candlelight Christmas walk, oh, if they see a modernist home, they'll be like, oh my God, let's go away. We must run from the modernist home. She's crazy. But if Mr. Cherry, the architect, goes to court instead of some sort of arbitration, he's crazy too. You know, they just need to sit down together and talk. And you know what, Gail? You need to back the freak down. What is it? No, back the freak up. Right. She needs to back up. She has no right to object to a modernist home in Oakwood. There's no historical reason. There's a lot of 10-year-old, oh, I live in Oakwood reason, which is bullcrap. Historic Oakwood is a mix. It always has been. It always will be.
We got like 5 minutes. Should we move on?
All right. Yes, Carol tells me to move on. And wait. I just, wait, what are you doing? You can show me. I was looking pretty, that's about as relaxed as I'm ever going to look. But Carol brought me more eggs. She brought me more eggs. Carol, that means I just have to make quiche, you know. That just means I have to make quiche tonight. Eggs, chickens, eggs. Y'all who have friends with chickens and ducks know what I'm talking about. Okay, so Feinstein, what did we talk about? Oh, Flanders. Yes. Oh, yeah. I try not to self-promote too much, but there's a really good exhibit at Flanders Gallery this month, and they extended it. It started last month, Carol, February, and they're extending it through this weekend, through Saturday the 15th. It's video art, and if you go to the Independence Arts blog, there it is right there. You'll see my review of it with lots of links to all the cool video art. So there's good, but it doesn't compare. It's not all of it in the room, and the room, being in a room with huge screens and sculptural elements and, you know, all that, that's really good. It's better.
Look for the blog post with this date on it, 3/12.
What?
For
Oh, yeah. If you go to the Independence Artery blog, their art blog, look for that date, 3/12. But, you know, just scroll down and you see video art, Flanders video art. Anyway, it's really good, and I love the Flanders Gallery. It's becoming one of my favorite galleries in Raleigh. It's long been one of my favorite galleries in Raleigh, and I highly recommend it. You know what else, Carol? CAM, the Contemporary Art Museum, has some good stuff this month. There's some gorgeous porcelain jars with these neat black and white plant-based designs at CAM this month, actually until April 27th. There's a North Carolina emerging artist thing going on at CAM. And on First Fridays, Carol, CAM has dropped its $5 entrance fee.
Oh, wow, that's nice.
Ah, I know, you didn't know it. They told me it happened a year ago. I still meet people who don't know that CAM dropped the $5 entry fee on First Friday. It's like, how stupid was that if a year later people are still avoiding your gallery because you had a stupid $5 entry fee on First Friday? Bah. But anyway, CAM no longer has an entry fee on First Friday, and CAM has a really great exhibit this month. Really great exhibit until April 27th. A bunch of different North Carolina artists. So Flanders, CAM, bunch of good artists around town.
You want to talk about the left-wing Democratic Party?
Oh, God. We have 2 minutes, and I got to talk about how screwed up. Can I say effed up? Can I say effed up, Ed? Yeah. Effed up. And I got to talk about how effed up the North Carolina State Democratic Party is in a year when it's essential that Democrats and lefties galvanize themselves and vote and get out and encourage other people to vote. Did you hear, Carol, that Kay Hagan's campaign is not even pairing with the state Democrats? They're pairing with the Wake County Democratic Party to do fundraising and get out the vote stuff? Because Kay Hagan's campaign looks at the Democratic Party and says, y'all are dysfunctional. And the lefties are being blamed because Randy Voller was put into power by the left wing of the Democratic Party in North Carolina. And my point is, it's not the lefties that are to blame. It's Randy Voller. He seems to me to be relatively incompetent. It's not the lefties. It's not the fact that we think that Kay Hagan maybe could say something more about regulating coal ash at the federal level as a toxic waste. That's important, and Kay Hagan won't do it. that's a winning issue and Kay Hagan's ignoring it?
20 seconds.
No, it's not that. It's that Randy Voller makes incompetent decisions. The head of the Democratic Party in North Carolina is not competent. Don't blame the left, blame Randy Voller. We'll see you next week.